Hello everyone, today we're going to be jumping back into Brawl with a Glissa Sunslayer mid-range deck. Now Glissa is a great mid-range commander because at the 3 mana cost, we are getting so much on this card. We have First Strike, Death Touch, it's a 3/3, and additionally whenever Glissa deals combat damage to a player, we can either draw a card and lose a life, destroy an enchantment, or remove up to 3 counters from a permanent. So all of these things are really strong, and we're backing that up with the rest of our deck, following a typical mid-range plan, where we want all of our cards to be high value, and we want to have a lot of options for disrupting our opponent. Now, just to kind of keep in theme with Glissa, I did go ahead and include a lot of fight spells and a couple of death touch creatures as well to increase the synergy there. Now, we could have opted for some regular removal as well. Some of those might have been better options, but again, I did stick with that fighting theme. Now, a couple of cards that I want to point out just because they're pretty cool. We do have Finn the Fangbearer in this deck, synergizes great with Glissa, and of course our other Death Touch creatures, so we do have that full Death Touch package. In terms of other cards that you don't typically see, Leyline of the Void is being included here. This may or may not help us, but it is kind of nice if we can slam that down on the battlefield early and then blank an opponent's graveyard strategy. A couple other things, in keeping tune with the value, we are also playing Shaper's Sanctuary. Again, this doesn't always come into play for us, but if our opponent is playing a similar deck or running lots of removal, this is a great way to get some continued value. Now, the deck list is down in the description as always, so feel free to take a closer look if you're curious about what we've got going on here. But with that being said, if you guys have been enjoying my content, make sure you subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on my latest videos, and if you do enjoy this video, make sure you give it a like. Let's go ahead and see how this deck does. Alright, so right off the bat, I'm really happy with what we're seeing. We're playing up against an enchantment deck, and we've got Glissa, who will destroy enchantments when dealing damage. So this is great. We'll keep this opening hand as well. A couple of different options for us. I think we're going to bushwhack for a land on turn 1. I think that's going to be a strong use of our mana here. Go ahead, search for that land. We already have the black. Do we want double green? I think we are going to... We're going to get double green. Our hand has a lot more options in green and a lot lower costed options in green, so I think this is fine. We have Go for the Throat next turn, and if not, we can play out Finn or something like that. All solid options. Finn having Death Touch is going to be good. We find Shieldred, that's nice. Yep, here comes Finn. Next turn we can drop our Glissa, or maybe we remove something. Either way, we're in a really strong spot right now. Again, and this is entirely based on the matchup. And we're going to want to be playing a little aggressive early because, again, our opponent's playing for that late game where they stack a bunch of shrines. Let's see what they got going on here. Maybe we're going to see some ramp out of them, something like an Explore. No. Alright. We are going to move to combat first. Attack here. See if our opponent has anything. Give those poison counters, and now we're going to play out Glissa. Maybe they have a counterspell. They do not. Maybe they have a removal spell. That would probably be best case for our opponents. Nope, they just get another Triome. I mean, maybe there's a Leyline Binding. That could be a problem. But I'm not really concerned with anything our opponent does here. We have options for fighting. Goshen Tide, sure. So right off the bat, we could play out Shieldred here. But I don't think we're going to do that. I think I'm going to start with Go for the Throat. Then we'll swing out with both. Opponent's going to choose to block here. We'll play our tapped Cottage, yep. Block the Glissa. There's another 2 poison counters. And we'll play the Cottage and then Viper. So we do have lethal on board next turn with our poison counters. Our opponent definitely has to deal with something here. Alright, well, that's looking pretty good. I think we go ahead and sack the Moss Viper, hitting the Shrine Steward to get some extra value. Maybe we'll draw a different removal spell. So let's go ahead and start by drawing a card and losing 1 life. See what we get. Alright, yeah. We don't want Finn getting blocked, so let's just do this. Extra poison counter for you. Okay. Draw a card. Lose 1 life. Opponent's up at 9 poison counters, so they have to deal with both of these this turn. Sanctum of All was not a good grab. Again, only thing we're really afraid of here is some sort of board wipe. Finn has to leave the battlefield, and we've got it. Alright, going first. This isn't a bad starting hand, so we'll go ahead and keep. Start with the tap land. Next turn we can play out Mind Stone. Just gonna do a little bit of early ramping. Next turn we can play Glissa and a Moss Viper. That's not terrible. We could also go Guardian Project. We're gonna play for a little bit later. I think we're gonna be able to deal with our opponent. Yep. Let's see. We could go Glissa. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. We'll play the Glissa here. And we find green. We'll go ahead, ping their commander. Very solid. I think we're in a pretty good spot. We've got Murderous Rider. We also have Liliana. Okay, they play a Ganjo, so I'm not actually scared of that. Bounty Agent has to go. First Strike makes it almost impossible for our opponent to block here. So Swift End, we just need to get rid of that, because I want to keep Glissa. Now, we could go Moss Viper, draw a card, but I'm going to attack first. This way we'll draw a card, lose 1 life. We have Inquisition as well. So now we get to pick. I'm going to play out the Moss Viper, see if we can dissuade attacks again. Draw a card. We find a forest, play the forest. End the turn. Okay, that's fine. We play fair, we cast all our spells. Sigarda? Sure. We have Casualties of War next turn. That's gonna be really strong. Land. No enchantment. Creature. Ping Sigarda, hit their dual-colored land. Inquisition here. Let's see. Ooh, that's not bad. All of these are good. We'll get rid of Cisne, that's fine. Keep the Moss Viper back, attack with Glissa. Again, our opponent doesn't have good blocks here. Free damage, draw a card. Find Dark Ritual. It's gonna help us cast all these black cards in our hand, which is really good. Alright, so I think we start with Gonti here. This will draw us a card. Yeah, that's fine. They go ahead and sack that. We lose our card draw, but we get a card off Gonti anyway. Alright, well that feels pretty okay. I'm grabbing that. Let's go Dark Ritual. Lily. Play out the Bramble Familiar. And we've got it! Alright, opponent goes first. We've got just a bunch of ramp here. This isn't bad. We're playing up against Daxos, so our opponent's probably on some life gain strategy. I'm gonna take a mulligan and see if we can find something a little bit nicer, like this. Alright, turn 1, we're playing the tap land. Turn 2, I think we kill the Copperco. Then turn 3, we can get down Glissa. From there, we can protect with our fight spells. Daxos, sure. Shadow Spear, nice. Alright. Glissa's good for us here. Alright, so let's go bite down, kill Elish Norn. I will decline, take the damage. Fight Daxos, send him back to the command zone. And with First Strike, we'll swing out, so we can draw that card. We find Sheoldred, which is really good for our next turn. I think we drop the Sheoldred. Sack that. We'll attack with Glissa. If they want to trade, that's fine. We keep our Sheoldred here. Back in the command zone. Next turn we can drop Great Henge, that's going to start giving us card draw. Deep Cavern Bat is also going to be really good for us. Opponent just replays Daxos here. Alright, let's see. Do I want the extra untapped land? I think I do, so we can hold up a black mana. Great Henge. Interesting. Maybe our opponent has like a Mana Tithe or something. Could be a removal spell as well. Either way, we get it. Let's go Deep Cavern Bat. Draw a card. Take a look at our opponent's hand. What do I care about? Honestly, the enchantment's gonna be easier to remove with Glissa, so we'll just go ahead and get rid of him. Draw a card, Tribute. Perfect. Do we attack? Yeah. Let's get some damage down. Sounds good. And a land. Equip Shadow Spear and attack. Makes sense to me. No blocks. I think we go Tribute to the World Tree here. And maybe we replay Glissa. Could also go Vampire of the Dire Moon. See. Opponent has a Shadow Spear activation that they're holding priority for. Not gonna do anything. Not enough cards in the graveyard to flip Sheoldred yet. Alright, we get it. Let's go Glissa. Draw a card. Draw a card. Vampire the Dire Moon. Draw a card, get some counters. Swing out here. So next turn, Glissa is going to be really strong here. We'll be able to get rid of that enchantment, and it looks like we've got it. Alright, so we're going first here. This isn't bad, but I am going to take the mulligan here. Keep this, because there's no reason to go down to 6. Start with Vampire the Dire Moon, and really hope for another land so we can get out Glissa. Maybe another black land, so we have Murderous Rider as an option. Honestly, that's fine by me. Attack here. We're up against Saruman of many colors. Cold Steel Heart, sure. Glissa. Deal some damage. Next turn we can drop Gonti, or we can get the Vraska out. Okay, back in the command zone. Sorin, also pretty good. Let's go Sorin. Make a vampire. Swing and get the block.
You deal with this annoyance.
Just want to get around any flickering shenanigans. Alright, Tasha. That's not bad. Yeah, I think we Murderous Rider kill Tasha.
You got lucky, that's all.
Plus the Sorin. Yeah, we'll take 2. That's fine. No attacks, because we don't want to get those -1/-1 counters. Okay, let's see if we get a land here. That's fine. We'll take that. Let's go Scorpion. Lord Skitter. Let's get rid of Skyclip. Attack in the air. Deal some damage. I think we're in a really good spot here. We are missing land drops, which is a little unfortunate. Seagate Restoration. Alright, that's fine by me. We do find the land. Let's plus Sorin. Let's see. We don't have something to discard for the ward costs there, so that's a little unfortunate. We can play out Nissa. We can replay Glissa as well. I think we'll do that. We'll replay the Glissa. Get rid of Seagate. Swing out like this. Opponent's down at 18, and things are looking good for us. Thoughtseize, sure. All of our cards are good, so it doesn't really matter what our opponent takes. Ent's Fury is probably one of the stronger choices. No, they picked the Nissa. That's fine. Deep Cavern Bats could be good for us next turn. Lily would be really good as well. If we can drop Lily, that would be awesome. We just need to find a land. And between our draw and Sorin, maybe there's a good chance of that. Soul Shatter, alright, goodbye Sorin. Okay, so yeah, we Deep Cavern Bats, get rid of something that we don't want. Time Wipe. Yep. So Deep Cavern Bats deals with that. We could also Lily and guarantee, Now we'll go with the Bat. If they have... Alright, that's fine. Exile Glissa. They lose some life. Back in the command zone you go. Here comes the Bat. Let's see what they got. Alright, yeah, so we get rid of Time Wipe for now. Probably gonna play out Vraska here.
Time to step out of the shadows.
I'm gonna sack...
Going to die any
Actually, nothing. Because we don't need the card. Let's get rid of that. Combat here, we could pressure our opponent's life total, but I think this is gonna be a little bit better. We swing like this. Give them the option to save Narset by getting rid of Saruman, but obviously they don't take that. Next turn, we can drop Lily and Minus. We'll discard you. Again, things are looking good. Our opponent's life total's low. Digging through time. Inquisition. That's fine. So we keep Lily. We'll keep plussing Vraska. Let's see, they can counter Lily there. Alright. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and plus sacrificing a rat to draw a card. Thoughtseize. Draw a counterspell. Alright, looking good. And then, let's see, do we want to go ahead and swing with the cottage? Honestly, that's not a bad idea. We make our rat. We get rid of the dig through time. Swing like this. Exile that. Keep the graveyard empty. Opponent's down at 6. We're up at 31. Pretty good. We're almost at the -9 on Vraska. Yeah, land tax isn't going to do much. That's fine. Ents Fury, sure. Fights that to get Time Wipe. And then going to cast the Time Wipe. I'm actually okay with this. Yeah, because even though that happens, we're just going to play out Liliana. We're going to plus here. Plus here. Sacrifice you. Draw a card. So yeah, opponent's going to have to deal with Vraska. Alright, yep, Teferi does deal with Vraska. Pretty cleanly. But she'll be back. Sure. We can go ahead and fight that, kill Teferi. I kind of like that. Can play Glissa first. Okay, draw the counterspell. And that's okay. Command zone. Fight. Go ahead and kill Teferi. Plus make another zombie.
rise and shine.
Again, I don't think our opponent's going to be able to come back, but we're looking good. 2 turns on Lily being a problem. We're going to draw the Vraska soon. Vraska is going to give us extra card draw. Saruman, sure. Yep, second spell off Saruman. Bramble Familiar. See, what do they get? Thoughtseize to hit Prey upon. That's fine. Big Vraska. So let's draw a card, lose a life, proliferate. Yeah, we'll proliferate everything here. Gonna move to combat, and we're gonna swing like this. Our opponent's gonna have to block at least one of them. We're doing this now so we get the card draw off of Lily before we -9.
They were a lousy servant anyway.
Okay, -9.
I bet you wish you had nothing to lose.
Yep. Which land's your favorite? Sounds good. We'll drop the Murderous Rider. This will block for Vraska. Land tax is gonna help them out here. Do I care to block it? I don't think so. We'll take it. And I guess we've got it. Alright everyone, as we saw there, all you need to win in Brawl is a high value commander, high value cards, and ways of interacting with your opponent. And this deck does just that. Now of course there are other commanders that can do the same in a similar thing, but this is pretty much the gist of what a mid-range deck would look like in the format. Now, if you guys have any ideas for another video that you'd like to see me make, why don't you go ahead and let me know in a comment down below. And if you did enjoy this video, make sure you give it a like. I'll see you all next time.